Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all well. So today we are tackling the old Karunjie Road, which is just a forward drive track, not maintained at all. The start of it through the gates behind us. So it goes along the Cockburn Range that you can see in the background there and ends up in the Pentecost River, which is where we finished the Gib River Road.
So we'll take you along for the ride and hope that we find some cool stuff to see along the way and end up in a very nice campsite tonight. Gate number 2. And always remember to shut the gates for tracks like that. We've heard that some people didn't do it in the past and obviously the owner got really annoyed. So make sure you do it so that we can all access places like this.
Excuse me, young lady, would you like to go for a ride?
So this is what the remote Kimberley region looks like. Emptiness on one side and the ranges on the other side. It's pretty spectacular landscape, especially like we just took the drone up and you can really see the contrast between the two. It's like that vastness is really impressive and it just goes and goes for like kilometers. So Chris is just taking a few photos over there. And we're just gonna carry on and just basically like the track in total is roughly 60 kilometers and it just goes along the range. So I think the track continues this way and we're gonna end up closer to the Pentecost Rivers.
So we've just driven past a flying fox that's trapped on the barbed wire fence. Looks like it's got its wing caught, so I'm gloved up. These things carry a host of diseases. Hopefully not another COVID. The poor thing's trapped. Oh, you poor guy.
Oh.
I don't want to get bitten by this thing.
Yeah, please be careful.
I'm gonna wrap him up. Quickly grab my knife. Hope this poor guy's going to be okay. Poor thing. So the reason I'm being so careful is if this guy bites me, I'm going to have to go straight to hospital because they'll have rabies, sleeping sickness, all those kinds of things. So if he's too far gone, I'm going to have to kill him. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him over here and see if he can move. If he can move, he might be okay. Look at him go. He's got holes in his wings, but he can fly. Okay, so I don't know if he'll be okay, and I don't know if that was the right thing to do. What do you guys reckon? I'm no flying fox expert, but he's hanging, he's alive. I don't think he's harmed enough to die. He's probably very scared and very, very tired. So what I'll do is I'll get a little container and I'll put some water in it and then we'll leave. But as far as I could tell, he's got 2 holes in his wings. I had to make one of them in order to get him off. He had wrapped so badly around that piece of barbed wire there, but it's quite sad, eh? I hate seeing animals like that suffering. It's horrible. All right, so I'll get some water and I'll film that. So I'll put some banana in the tree right here. Some banana there and water. There's no shade here, but a tiny bit right there. But he's calmed right down. So he's probably pretty aware now. I would say that I was trying to help, not hurt him. So I'll put one more thing of water over and we'll be on our way. I've done all I can for him.
All right. Pit stop number 1.
Tape worked all right. So a few people have asked how, you know, our mouse issue went. So didn't actually find a mouse. There was definitely no mouse actually left in the car. But the big problem has been, because he ate these ventilation flaps really badly, it was just billowing bull dust straight into the back of the car and into the fridge. So the first thing it did is it jammed up our back door. And since I put a bunch of degreaser in it, it's even still a bit squeaky. I've also taped the inside ventilation panels as well. And basically what I've done here is I put a plastic bag into each panel, and then I've taped over it, and that's sort of fixed it. But yeah, we're talking serious dust on these roads, like it's mental. It's basically sand, super fine. And in Oz it's called bull dust, and it's almost like a liquid. It's bizarre when you walk through it, but just as you slow down your revs just a tiny bit while forward driving, it all just covers the car.
So in places like the Kimberley, drinking water is one of the things that you don't want to be stingy on. So the water tank came really, really handy. That was like really the good time to do it. And as well, because it's so hot, so what we've done is just like put some water in a plastic bottle, and we can just put it in the freezer, and then when we stop like that on the side of the road, we can just have like a refreshing drink. Because right now, the water that is actually on our water tank, the one at the back, is just like so warm. Like basically if I make coffee right now, I just need basically to put it on the boil for like 20 seconds and it's done. So this definitely is a great thing to do if you've got a freezer. Make sure to put it like that, and good ending.
Okay, we'll have a new segment called Tips with Ange. Okay, now do your tip about the plastic bottle.
No, I already did. And
I'm going to do the tip again. I'm going to have tips with Ange.
Yeah, I'll put it.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, dear, I'm not going to move with it.
Forward driving tips with Chris. Tip number 1. When you're driving off-road, especially when you're in like low range and starts getting technical, try really hard to not have your thumb on the steering wheel or wrapped around the steering wheel like you would normally drive. I only drive with one arm because I'm used to using a stick shift. But when you're driving, have your thumb on top of the steering wheel, because wrapped around, when you hit rocks, it can crank your thumb really badly. The weight of that vehicle going over a rock and those tires moving can pull your hand really hard, and you can, I've done it at least once before, sprained my thumb really badly. But just be aware of that, because you can actually break your thumb. So thumb around the top. Angie's out here holding the umbrella over me because it's so hot. But after hard forward drive tracks, always pays to check your vehicle. I was noticing a little bit of a clunk And I found out what it is. The sway bar link has come loose, just the bolts. That's a very easy fix, so I'll sort that out. The next thing I've noticed is these are aftermarket, these aren't Jeep. So this is a Synergy one, they're really beefed up. But there's a boot on either side, and then there's this like capture ring that goes around and keeps the boot on the joint. That ring had come off and the whole boot had slipped down, so it was oozing grease. Same on this side, I'm just fixing it up. So I've pulled the ring off. I don't know if you can see that. It goes around there. That had slipped right off. Not a huge deal, but the more crud and rubbish that gets into that little joint will just wear it out. Fixing it up, and then I'll just cover it in grease, and it should keep that horrible bull dust out of the way.
So I always like to kind of like sit with Chris as well sometimes and ask him questions to try to understand. Obviously, I've got no knowledge of the Jeep compared to him, so it's always good for me to try to understand a bit more, obviously, because it's my vehicle as well.
Yeah. And all this stuff is super basic. I don't know anything about mechanics at all. I've got zero background in it. It's more just a bit of common sense and having a bit of look on Google and stuff. And when you kind of break it down, I'm interested in that sort of thing. You can kind of see how stuff works. And talking to mechanics when you take your car in helps a lot too. And that's where you can get a huge amount of advice. Now, because of a lot of the stuff here is aftermarket, they're actually all greasable bushings. So what I need to do, and I've been putting it off for a while that I shouldn't be doing, is buy basically a grease gun, and I can just pump grease into all the grease nipple spots and just keep everything nice and lubricated, because we've spent so much time by the sea that there's like salt crap on it, and now there's a whole bunch of bull dust. So just keeps everything nice and lubricated, and it'll extend the life of all these quite expensive components. Keep this beast going for as long as I can without needing expensive repairs, basically. Preventative maintenance.
That's the second tip with Chris of the day.
All right, it's about 3:30 and I'm off to collect some firewood so I can film the very important Cooking with Chrissy Boy segment. So, come with me on a little firewood hunting experience in 40 degrees. Oh yeah. Oh, that'll do. Fire's a big part of the Kimberley. Everywhere we've gone there's been big swathes of bush that's been burned from lightning strikes and stuff, so a lot of this wood here, once the termites get to it, there's not much living in it, as you can see. So still easy enough fuel for just my dinner, so I'm going to chop that into a few more manageable pieces. Doesn't require me getting dehydrated in this heat. Alright, welcome back to another Cooking with Chrissy Boy. So tonight we are having kangaroo spaghetti. So, I've got bush tomato and wild caught kangaroo meatballs, spaghetti, garlic, pasta sauce, garlic salt, and Brussels sprouts. So I'll be cooking the kangaroo and the Brussels sprouts on the fire behind. And I'm going to cook the spaghetti on the pot. So first up, going to get into these meatballs, get some foil out, grab a meatball with our fingers, chuck it in there, then crush some garlic, like so, chop it up. So now we're going to get all the little annoying bits off the garlic. Great, so we've got a garlic clove. I'm going to crush that to release the juices. And I'm going to put that into the meatball. Right into the center like that. A little bit of garlic salt on top of that meatball. And wrap the meatball like so. So I'll do that for all the meatballs. And then we'll start with the spaghetti. So, we'll use the lot and I'll make 2 meals out of it. Gonna grab it, break it in half, and put it in the pot. I won't let that boil yet. What I'll do is I'll go over, start the fire once I've wrapped these meatballs up, and I'll see you over there. Alright, so fire is going, meatballs and the Brussels sprouts are cooking, so now I'm going to start the spaghetti, or the pasta rather. Alright, we'll let that get nice and hot, have a few corn chips. Back to the fire. All right. Little taste test on the pasta. Almost al dente. A little tiny bit longer. Meatballs are looking perfect behind me. Almost time to dish up. All right. Time to strain this pasta. Oh my gosh, that handle is hot. All right. Just like so. Now, we are ready for the sauce. Red wine and garlic. I made this earlier. I just forgot to film it. So that's my special sauce. Mix that in. Oh, it's starting to look very good, guys. All right, now I'm gonna pluck the meatballs out of the fire, chuck them in the spaghetti, and we're almost ready to go. They smell pretty good, guys. So I'm going to unwrap these little parcels of delicious game meat. Look at that. I don't know if you can see, but that's perfection. Now peel that sucker out. Make sure there's no carcinogenic metal pieces. Well, they seem to have stuck quite badly. Something I did not anticipate. perfect. Like little surprises, you know? Oh goodness me. The flies are really seeing this as a little masterclass, I think. They're all over it. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to spend a little bit of time peeling these off and dunking them in. Look at this. Cooked to perfection. Doesn't get much better than that, guys. Straight in the pot. Time to dish up this wonderful bush meal. Look at that. That looks perfect. A little bit of tin foil in it, but that's okay. Super good. Well guys, that's all from me. Thanks for tuning in to another Cooking with Chrissy Boy. Let me know in the comments if you want me to cook anything else in particular. And if you want this recipe, shout out and I'll send it your way. Cheers. Alright, so that concludes our time on the old Karunjie Track. Hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. If you're not subscribed, please remember to subscribe and really help us to get to 20,000 subscribers. And stay tuned for next week's video as we make our way back down Western Australia.
Catch you then.